It's called science.
Gorl World viewers and commentators know Yaba, the YouTube underground, as an almost exclusively foodie beauty reactor, which she has been from roughly 2019 to the present. So what was Yaba like before she found foodie beauty? Let's explore Yaba's first known reaction video, from November 2016. First, however, there are some points to watch out for. As a long-time Yaba viewer, I have noticed two recurring themes concerning grifting and equity. Regarding grifting, Yaba has an abiding concern that someone somewhere at any given time is getting money or attention to which they are not otherwise entitled. To better understand Yaba's notion of grifting, we need to understand Yaba's notion of charity, as well as those who give to charity. I will start with the claim that Yaba simply doesn't understand charity at a conceptual level.
Why people feel the need just to give away money to people that they don't even know.
Yaba seems to believe that charity should be confined to existing social relationships.
If they don't have the money to bear them, who fucking cares? It's not your family. It's not anybody you know. You just know them from fucking YouTube. Who cares? Why are you giving money to strangers?
Fine. So only those known to you may ask for help.
You don't need to put up a GoFundMe asking, like, that just makes you look so bad, man. And it makes you look fucking broke.
Or you need never give to charity, because no one you know would do something as shameful as ask for support. I will say Yaba's is a remarkable perspective, given her nominally Catholic background.
So just quit supporting these fucktards.
Yaba does, however, offer one acceptable form of charity.
If you really want to help, go down to a homeless shelter, go down during dinner time and breakfast time and hand out food and water.
Given that Yaba has not discussed her experiences volunteering in shelters, I assume she believes charity is best conducted silently. Alternatively, she doesn't really want to help. To be fair, she is known for her work with ensuring strays have forever homes. As we shall see, the concern with grifting or charity or scams is present from the beginning. The second recurring theme is Yaba's peculiar notion of fairness, a variation on equity. Per Yaba, a situation is only fair when everyone involved shares the same disadvantages. Consider this meme, which illustrates one perspective on equality versus equity. While I'm not convinced Yaba would be happy with the equity outcome as presented, I believe she would be satisfied were the taller two individuals amputated such that no one might see over the fence. If you ever find yourself puzzled by Yaba's grievances, just imagine her yelling the phrases, "That's not fair," or "Flag on the play, my guy." Before proceeding to discussion of the video, I'd like to suggest a reason for these themes, which I assert follows from Yaba's worldview. To put it bluntly, Yaba has a very narrow worldview. It's apparent from the beginning that Yaba believes hers is the only correct perspective, that the choices she makes are the only correct choices. To deviate is to risk Yaba's questioning one's mental faculties.
I can get they not your money to the 2% and
Lest one be concerned by Yaba's seemingly non-progressive language, please note that Yaba has defined when certain slurs are appropriate.
But I don't call people with mental disabilities retards. I call retards retards. You know what I'm saying? Somebody with the mental disability, they're mentally disabled. I don't call them those names, okay?
To those who would assert Yaba has since evolved, consider this compilation from February 2024.
It's like the e-begging Olympics over there. The e-begging Special Olympics. They're all grifting. That's why I say it's like the grifting Special Olympics when they make GoFundMes or if they grift for things. Again, it's the e-begging Special Olympics.
In later videos, her narrow-mindedness extends even to food. If Yaba has never consumed and enjoyed it, it's inconceivable anyone would. Yaba is, for instance, baffled by meat and potatoes being served together in a single dish.
The fuck is a meatball and a potato stew? That sounds gross. Have you all ever had some meatball and potato stew?
Or potatoes and rice.
I mean, listen, I'm a very, very basic person when it comes to food. You know, chicken tenders, if you will, but I've just never heard of potatoes and rice.
Or cheese and soup.
Oh, you put cheese in your soup? Maybe it's a thing. I've never done it. I've never seen it done. That's not to say that it's not a thing for some people.
To be fair, she also gets thrown by things she's tried and presumably enjoyed.
The fact that this beast is 41 and doesn't know the word labia. Say it, Sam.
Labia?
Labia.
Now that we have a better understanding of Yaba's perspective, I'd like to provide a bit of background on 2016 Yaba and the reasons she launched her YouTube channel. By 2016, Yaba, a Kentucky native, is a housewife in a double-wide home.
Wasn't a double wide. It's a modular.
By 2016, Yaba, a Kentucky native, is a housewife in a modular home in rural, southern Indiana. She shares the home with Jesse Harris, a veteran of basic training and possessed of youthful passions. By November 2016, when Yaba begins uploading content to her channel, the couple have 3 children, ranging from 1 to 7 years old. This is affirmed by a February 2024 tweet wherein Yaba shared her children's birth certificates with God and everybody. While Yaba is primarily a homemaker, she claims some measure of financial independence.
I don't have a real job. I work at home. I do my own thing and I make a lot of money doing it. So I'm good. But if it came down to where I could just do videos and shit, then yeah, I would do it.
As the channel launches, Yaba is also active on other social media platforms, such as Twitter. Due to her later deletions, much of her social media history is lost. There are, however, examples of her forward-thinking views on masculinity and homosexuality. I have described the video I'll be discussing as the first known, as Yaba may suggest it is not the first created.
Alright, so normally I don't even make videos like this.
Of course, Yaba may simply mean she wasn't making videos at all. On the other hand, Yaba may be referring to another channel, in her name, which was created in 2011. Unfortunately, no earlier videos of substance have come to light. On October 26, 2016, Yaba creates her YouTube channel, which was initially called Yabba Dabba Doo. One may wonder why Yaba began creating reaction content. What motivates one to pivot from yelling at the screen to yelling at the viewer? Over the years, Yaba has offered conflicting narratives. In the video, Yaba claims to be unfamiliar with the subjects, Amy Slaton and Mukbang King, having heard about them through reaction channels, but only recently having started watching them.
The 2 in particular people I'm talking about right now that I know about is Amy Slaton and some douchebag Mukbang King. I think that's his fucking name. I don't even know. It sucks. I can't get away from it. It's all I've been doing for the last couple of days.
This is not to say that Yaba is new to the mukbang and drama communities.
I do watch mukbang videos. Your girl Chunky But Funky, I love her and I love her shit and I watch that all the time. So I don't have anything against those kind of videos, man.
She has also been watching Amber Lynn read videos, which she discusses in a later video, directly addressing Amber Lynn.
I came across your channel a while back. I think you all had just moved to Kentucky and I don't even know how I came across your channel. I'm pretty sure it just came up, suggested video.
This means that Yaba began watching Amber Lynn during the summer, likely during June. Crucially, Yaba claims to have learned about Mukbang King from YouTuber Ron Corbin, then known by channel names such as Stay Negative, Mr. on the Border, and later, the YouTube Underground. In fact, 2 weeks before Yaba uploads her video, there is discussion on gossip site Kiwi Farms about Ron's Mukbang King videos. The narrative Yaba presents here is very different from the one she presents in a December 2022 live stream with partner Samantha.
My kid's dad showed me a video of Amy Slaton. It was Amy and Tammy doing a chubby bunny challenge. And then from there, it just, went from, a dark search on the internet of Amy Slaton, and I'm here and I'm there. And then I end up on, I think it was Ron's channel probably.
So, in one version, Yaba's partner shows her a video of the Slaton sisters, which leads Yaba to discovering Ron and the mukbang and drama communities. Alternatively, Yaba was already watching this sort of content regularly, which led her to Ron and his videos on Amy Slaton and Mukbang King. While Yaba later downplays her relationship with Ron, it's worth noting certain parallels, which suggest Yaba modeled her content and perhaps her initial persona on him. First, Ron makes reaction content on the same targets Yaba later adopts. Ron, for instance, covers Amy Slaton. Ron also produces skits about Amy Slaton, among other targets. Yaba soon begins producing sketches about Amy Slaton, culminating in an end-of-the-year tribute to the Chubby Bunny Challenge. Another target for Ron is Amberlynn Reed. The video cited is made literally 2 months before Yaba begins uploading. In turn, Yaba will focus on Amberlynn, first via a genuinely terrible comedy sketch. And after being blocked by Amberlynn, Yaba will turn to reaction content. We'll explore the connection between Yaba and Ron more fully in future videos. Before proceeding, we'll throw one more name into the mix, to reserve for future discussion.
I heard him talking about him, and I heard, I think her name's Miss Fucking Wonderful. I'm not sure. I think that's her, though. She was talking about him, too.
Now that we have a better idea of who Yaba is, or who she was at this time, let's dig into the video. By 2016, Amy Slaton and her sister Tammy have been producing social media content for 5 years, including blogs, makeup tutorials, viral challenges, and food tastings. On April 27, 2015, Amy uploads a video in which she claims Tammy is dying of pneumonia and allegedly requests donations to help pay for a modular casket. Since Tammy didn't die, it's therefore alleged that Amy scammed her supporters. Along with the video, Amy started a GoFundMe campaign. While the campaign is no longer available, I found a copy of the text in the Slaton sisters thread on Kiwi Farms. As discussed in the thread, the campaign does not say the money may be used only for a casket. Should Tammy survive, the money may be used for expenses not covered by insurance. Since I didn't understand the last option in Amy's campaign, I can't say whether she scammed her supporters. This is, however, part of the popular lore. So let's explore Yaba's thoughts on the matter. Yaba asserts that Amy is a scammer, be it of full-bodied caskets or state benefits. That is, per Yaba's definition, Amy is receiving funds to which she is not otherwise entitled. In the video, Yaba proposes the state benefits Amy is receiving. Given that she does not actually know, she hedges each of her claims.
I'm going to say probably disability, probably Medicaid, and probably fucking food stamps.
Because Yaba asserts that Amy is not entitled to these benefits, Amy is therefore committing fraud. Probably.
She's scamming the government. And I'm also going to go out on a limb and say that she probably hasn't paid any taxes on the YouTube money.
Relying solely on her own intuition, Yaba hypothesizes the nature of an event, then proceeds as if her hypothesis has been confirmed. This is another pattern we shall see throughout Yaba's content. Yaba goes on to predict that Amy will probably be busted for failing to report her YouTube income and will then leave YouTube, so that she may continue collecting her probable disability checks. This technique Yaba employs of proposing an explanation, then treating it as fact, is quite powerful. Consider its application as applied to Yaba's 2016 finances. While she lives with the father of her children, Yaba and Jesse are not married. The state of Indiana does not recognize common law marriage, so their finances are probably considered separate for tax purposes. Though Jesse is listed on the children's birth certificates, he never files for paternity. In fact, Yaba won't seriously pursue a paternity affidavit until after his death. The state of Indiana therefore probably categorizes Yaba as a single mother who is not receiving child support, since there is no legally recognized father. Nor is Yaba listed as an owner of the home she shares with Jesse. At best, she's a tenant, if even that. Evidence for Yaba's lack of tangible assets comes from a tweet in which she discusses having received nothing from Jesse's later sale of the house, despite having paid him rent. Probably. I don't know whether Amy Slaton's YouTube income ever affected her disability payments. I do, however, know that roughly 6 months after this video, the state of Indiana filed a $4,000 tax judgment against Yaba, probably for her failure to report revenue from her business. After repeated failures to file, the state of Indiana dissolved the business, as it would 2 years later with the business Yaba created as a replacement. One wonders how much supplemental income Yaba received, given her murky finances and even murkier legal status. Still, at least she doesn't poormouth. Now, we have talked about Yaba's struggle with perspectives other than her own. There really will be no set of circumstances under which asking for casket money is acceptable.
I don't know. I don't even know why you'd want to be buried. I'm not with that shit. I don't understand it, but whatever.
Nor does Yaba believe that Tammy's family wouldn't be able to afford a casket for her.
I don't believe for 1 minute that somebody don't have life insurance on these two girls. Look at them. They're a fucking walking time bomb.
So we can add life insurance policy rates to the list of things Yaba is probably unfamiliar with. Ultimately, however, whether the family can afford to bury a loved one is irrelevant.
If they don't have the money to bury them, who fucking cares? It's not your family. It's not anybody you know.
I've wondered to what extent this reflects Yaba's true feelings. Is it possible Yaba is modeling herself on Ron, who is known for his edgy, contrarian positions? I will suggest this is, in fact, simply who Yaba is. An insensitive, self-absorbed, provincial, and profoundly bitter woman. As an example, consider this incident from 2025 wherein Yaba openly mocked the death of a viewer's relative Gary, later denying having done so, then continuing to do so after receiving criticism for her behavior.
Fucking Gary. Gary, fuck you, bro.
Good for you.
Nerve of you. As if I'm supposed to care because you're dead and shit.
Ironically, Yaba's partner Samantha would demand sensitivity from the community, following the death of Yaba's ex, Jesse, by misadventure. Regarding Gary, Yaba even encourages and promotes her partner's merchandise, which commemorates Gary's death, and how much joy Gary's death brought to Yaba, Samantha, and their audience. As expected, another complaint about the casket is that Amy Slaton is making a choice Yaba herself would not, and did not make.
Like when my mom died, I didn't have the money to give her a proper burial, so I fucking scrounged up what I could and had her cremated. I mean, that's just what the fuck you do. You don't go around begging for money from people.
Again, the only proper course of action is to do as Yaba probably did. I say probably because it's surprising that her mother's death expenses would fall solely to her, a woman with no husband, 2 toddlers, and ambiguous income. One wonders why the mother's siblings did not contribute, nor her husband, who was presumably next of kin, in the absence of legal documentation declaring otherwise. Truly a monstrous family when you think about it. Regardless, let's explore another alleged GoFundMe scam. Mukbang King launches his YouTube channel in July 2016, a month after Yaba claims to begin watching Amber Lynn Reid. Consistent with other channels in the genre, the videos primarily involve noisily eating large amounts of food, along with clickbait and celebrity gossip, much of which has since been deleted. At some point prior to Yaba's video, Mukbang King creates a GoFundMe campaign to crowdfund for a new camera to use for his channel. I'm even less sure how this qualifies as a scam, given there is a category for business support on GoFundMe. Before we get into the video, I'd also like to point out that Mukbang King is a decade younger than Yaba. I point this out because Yaba later imposes an age gap limit on criticism, chiding reactors who target those significantly younger than themselves. In this instance, I agree with Yaba. As we shall see, there is something truly odd about a 33-year-old woman ragging on a 23-year-old for not having her point of view. Still, let's hear her out. As always, asking for support is a no-go for Yaba.
I think he's got like 3,900 subs. So you feel like because you've gathered that many people that want to subscribe to you that it's okay to ask them for stuff.
Keeping an eye on other channels' subscriber counts is a habit in these early videos. Interestingly, in later years, Yaba will mock those who engage in so-called pocket watching. As a reminder, asking for support is inherently shameful.
You don't need to put up a GoFundMe asking, like that just makes you look so bad, man. And it makes you look fucking broke.
God forbid what strangers on the internet think of you, particularly 33-year-old unwed mothers in modular homes. According to Yaba, Mukbang King claims to be poor and to live in a poor, possibly dangerous community.
Talking about being on the border of like Mexico and America, I don't fucking know. And we don't know when one day he would take that camera out and he would show us how it was for him. Because I'm like, he's making out like he lives in a fucking third world country.
I don't know whether Mukbang King claimed to live in, basically, a third world country on the Mexican border. I will, however, say if he did, it was a very quick move. In August, 3 months before Yaba's video, Mukbang King answers viewer questions, including one asking where he lives.
Where are you from? I am from Texas, and right now I'm living in Fort Worth.
So clearly a border town.
Taking shots of tequila at the Cobra Cantina.
Yaba then discusses a video in which Mukbang King cooks, which she views as proof he's lying about being poor.
It's my fat ass gonna do now, so I woke up and
Okay, so that was him cooking in, I guess, his kitchen in his third world country, his little border town or whatever he calls it. That kitchen's nicer than my fucking kitchen.
This may follow from the fact that Mukbang King's kitchen came with a stove, while Yaba's kitchen apparently did not. As I said, I cannot speak to whether Mukbang King ever claimed to grow up in chapters 6 through 8 of Blood Meridian. When he speaks of being poor, however, my impression was the poverty associated with 23-year-olds. That is, a lack of disposable income. Still, Yaba's belief that Mukbang King deceived his audience with tales of accented poverty becomes fact, as we saw with Amy Slaton's alleged benefits fraud. In this case, the purported fact is then used to justify Yaba's increasingly nasty, personal criticism in subsequent videos. Once Yaba decides Mukbang King somehow scammed his audience via voluntary crowdfunding, she begins seeking other deceptions, with the goal of forcing him to confess to all his lies. That is, Yaba launches her own cultural revolution. Rather than attempting to destabilize the class system, she elects to focus on the real enemy of the people: fat people with Wi-Fi access. In a video uploaded 1 week later, Yaba shares her thought on Mukbang King's sexuality.
I think you might, not even like girls, which is great. There ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Don't hide that shit. Fucking be honest about that too. But that shit's not believable.
And as we have seen, once a possibility is introduced, it becomes fact. I assume Yaba's belief follows from Mukbang King, showing signs of effeminacy. We have, of course, seen what Yaba thinks of effeminate men, and I would assume, for Yaba, the homosexual man is effeminate by nature. As Yaba becomes more comfortable doing reactions, the commentary becomes more pointed, extending to other creators who are friendly with Mukbang King. In this case, a woman Mukbang Mama.
Did you think that getting with this Mukbang King and being friends with him that he was going to fucking give you the dick, dude? No, in case you're confused, he does not like women.
There is something deeply unpleasant about a 33-year-old demanding a 23-year-old confess to having sugar in the gas tank, to appease viewers on YouTube, particularly Yaba. What's actually sad about this is that Yaba, despite having known about her same-sex attractions for most of her life, did not feel comfortable sharing this fact with strangers.
I had no intentions of even telling people, you know, that I like girls or anything like that.
For that matter, Yaba did not feel empowered enough to discuss her inversion with her own family.
For me, coming out, like, my mom never knew. Like, my family, I don't even really associate with my family. I don't talk to them really. I don't have brothers and a sister. My mom passed away, God, 2005, I think, a while back. You know, so that was pretty much my family. So I didn't have a chance to come out to them, and they didn't have a chance to judge me.
So Yaba expected Mukbang King to do something she herself did not do. Was she likewise deceiving her audience? I suppose we ought to thank Yaba's colleagues for outing her, and thus, maintaining the integrity of her platform. I don't know what it says about their relationship, but I will point out that Yaba completely forgot not only what year, but what decade her mother passed. As discussed, the goal of this video was to define and describe certain patterns in Yaba's content. There is an obsession with how other people live and the choices they make. A profound inability to put herself in the shoes of another, so to speak. And a tendency to appoint herself hall monitor of whatever community she enters. In the next Yaba installment, we'll explore her early back and forth with Amberlynn Reid, as well as her developing alliance with Ron. That may take a while, so in the meantime we'll get to know other reactors whose personalities and lore I find interesting. If you have any ideas, requests, or feedback, don't hesitate to let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to receive notifications, please ring the bell.
And now I'm just like, hi, like happier.
Twice if need be. And remember,